Hey guys, it's Becky. I am back with another process video. Today I am going to be using the Dear Lizzy Star Gazer collection for my layout. As I usually do at first, I am going to show you the papers that I'm going to be using. This one right here, I don't freeze frame on it because I do not end up using it in the end. This one I do end up using both sides of. And this one might be my favorite, not for this side, but for the opposite side with the stars. I love the stars. The stars are kind of one of my favorite icons in scrapbooking for some reason. Probably because of the whole boy issue, right? This is the sketch I'm going to be using. It's number 233, and here is the photo I'm going to be using, and right there is my son and Marissa, and this layout is all about his eyes. In my journaling, I am going to be talking about how that's his superpower, because I would do, when he was little or even a teenager, he would get out of so much stuff. He would just turn those eyes on me and be like, Mom, you know, he could probably do it now, but as an adult, he does not, thank goodness. Okay, right here I had cut out a bunch of zigzags from my silhouette. It is a file called Zigzag, and I had probably gotten that at the silhouette store, I would think. I don't know, it's been in my library for a while, so I really have no idea, but I'm going to assume it is from the silhouette store. I'm just going to go ahead and glue these down. I did use a T-square ruler for the first one, trying to get it straight-ish, and then I'm just going to line the rest of them up with the first one. I'm just using some liquid adhesive to put it down. I don't do a full coverage of the liquid adhesive because I am going to stitch over it, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so right here is where I'm pulling out my sewing machine. Now the stitching I do on it is a zigzag stitch, and I just do the zigzag stitch following the zigzag of the pieces that I had cut out. A lot of them are not perfect, but I'm fine with that because that just is a true representation of life, right? It really never is perfect. As you can see, there's a lot of starting and stopping and manual turning of the needles. It did take a while. I am going to use this little metal ruler I have just to pull up the edges of some of those zigzags, and I will show you up close. I'm gonna have to warn you because I just now found another hair on my paper. The final photos of my paper do have somehow I have this long piece of hair got stuck on there, so it's going to be in the final photos. I have no idea. I didn't even notice it until I was putting this video together, and as you well know, I was not about to take the time to go back and retake photos minus my hair on it. Alright, I'm just tipping these up a little bit. It doesn't make a huge difference, but I like it when the little pieces cast shadows. Right here I just showed you the back. I used washi tape to tie down the threads. I pulled them all through to the back. And this is what the zigzag stitches look like. As you can see from that top one, you can see where I totally ran off of the zigzag. It was the very first one I did, and I'm like, okay, well, I just totally let my machine get away with me. Or get away from me, so I ended up covering that part up. Here are some old chipboard pieces. Now these chipboard pieces, they had a design on the top of them. I think I got them at Tuesday Morning a few years ago, and they are just crazy designs like animal prints, very bright 80s things. They're just crazy. So I peeled the top layer off and just heat emboss over that. Now the thing when you do something like that is when you pull the printed layer off the top, the chipboard is not smooth underneath it because you kind of ripped the layer off, right? You can probably take the time and file it down and make it nice and smooth. I did not do that. So underneath my heat embossing, it's kind of rough, and you can tell it's rough, but I don't care. I just went ahead and went with it. I pulled out I Can't Even, and I am going to heat emboss the I Can't in white. I also pulled out 2 hearts. I am heat embossing those in white, and the even I am heat embossing in blue. And then also I pulled out this kind of label thing right there, and I do heat emboss that in blue, and I do end up using that little piece it just sticks out, just a little bit of it I use. The white embossing powder that I use is Stampendous, and this navy blue one is from Zing. And I do 2 coats on all the pieces just because, like I said, they were rough, and I thought if I put another coat on them, they wouldn't be as rough. That is not how it ended up being. They're still kind of rough. So right here, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to place this photo so I can put my title down. And I do, on the first line of my title that I can't, I follow the zigzag. And on the even part, right here, I just do it in a straight-ish line. These chipboard letters, they're kind of a little bit wonky. So it kind of works out for me if you are a type of person that doesn't get things straight, like I am. I put one of them white chipboard hearts up at the top and one at the bottom. Here I'm going to use some glossy accents to lay down my title. I probably didn't need to go full on with the glossy accents, but just in case, because I had all that stitching on there, I wanted to make sure it stuck. That bowl you can see at the bottom of the screen, it has all the embellishment pieces that I have for the Dear Lizzy Star Gazer collection, so I'm just going through it, pulling out some pieces I think I might want to use. That little dude right there, it says Free Spirit, I think, on it, but it's this guy, and he has this mustache and this beard and this wavy, and it just reminds me of my child, and I am going to get that little die cut piece on a layout with BJ eventually. It is so cute. So right here I'm trying to layer up this stargazer. Now stargazer has nothing to do with the story I'm telling, but he is gazing, right? He's gazing into the camera, and I am talking about his eyes and eyes gaze. So that's how I fitted that one in there. I did take that die cut that's shaped like a stamp. It's going to go under that heart down there at the bottom. And I put a sun up at the top left because I wanted to bring a little yellow up at the top. I do end up getting rid of that and not keeping it there. Right now I'm looking through these puffy stickers, seeing if there's anything I might want to use. And I did spot several yellow stars, but I don't end up using those in the end. Here's a little baggie I have that just has some aqua minty color buttons, and I am going to pull a couple of those out, and I'm also going to pull one out that is a heart-shaped one. The minty color buttons or the aqua buttons, I'm not sure where those came from. I do know the heart-shaped one I had gotten at the Dollar Tree, like a whole pack of them for $1. Actually, it came with several pastel colors in it, but on here I'm just using the white. Here I'm seeing how I could bring navy up at the top, which I don't end up bringing navy up at the top. I was just trying it out, and there's one of those heart buttons. I do end up taking that one away. The one that is next to the end of even, I do end up using because I did want to have more hearts on here instead of just those two. It's kind of funny that I had the hearts and stars on here. I will bring in some more stars as well. Okay, so down here at the bottom, I'm just messing with that cluster. It just ends up being that one tab. Here is a little heart punch. I punched out a little yellow heart, seeing if that could be how I brought yellow up in the top. And that is not how I'm going to do it. I am going to pull out the sequin pack from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I do not know which one it is, but it had some yellow sequins in it, so I do put one at the top to bring the yellow up there, and also scatter a couple around the page. And in the same sequence pack, there were gold stars. So I take out several gold stars, and some of them I place, and some of them I just kind of flick off my finger, and wherever they fell, that was fine by me. I didn't care. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down around the page. I am going to cut away to glue them down. After I put down those sequins, I don't do anything else to this layout. So guys, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to spend with me today. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye guys.